in plain English. The people have a right to require of their lawgivers and magistrates an exact and constant observance of the fundamental principles of the Constitution and of all the social virtues in the formation and execution of the laws necessary for the good administration of government. So we've got a 300-year history of redress. What was it used for, and how did it work? This is a letter I got from the Secretary of State Archivist describing that. The accompanying report of the House Committee on Decommissioning Certain Militia Officers dated June 19, 1820 is part of the petitions collection at the New Hampshire State Archivist. This collection contains several thousands of documents from citizens of the province or the state to the legislature, the governor, and the executive council. The petitions range in date from 1653 to as recent as 1951, though the vast majority of them date between 1720 and 1850. The petitions in this collection show a wide range of concern ranging from grants of land or slaves asking to be freed to support of justice of the peace nominations or payment for services provided to the government. Circled in red in the top right, you see 2915. This is the Secretary of State Petitions Index. The index of petitioners is 2,917 pages long. This is not a small thing. Okay? We had 300 years of petitions. The index only goes to 1820. Petitions were heard until 1950. So the guy who's indexing these petitions retired with 130 years left to index. This is how business was done. You'll see in the middle there, message by Mr. Morrow to the Senate President. This is the Senate Journal, 1812. The House is now ready to meet in convention to proceed in the public hearings agreeable to the order of the day. And then whoever delivered this message withdrew. The Senate met with the Honorable House of Representatives in convention when hearing the petition of Asa Blodgett was finished. In the hearing on petition of Richard H. Ayer and others, the convention then arose with leave to sit again, and the Senate returned to their chamber. This is Richard H. Ayer. You'll see his name in a second.
Gus,
Yeah.
it's 8 o'clock, and we usually adjourn. So,
4 minutes?
yeah, oh yeah, I'll give you more time. I just want to let you all know that it is 8 o'clock, and any of you who feel that you need to leave at this time, you know, I don't want to keep you longer than you meant to be here. But if you're interested in staying a little longer and hearing out what Gus has to say, you're welcome to stay and do it.
Again, we see the House, the Senate met the Honorable House in convention, and after attending to the hearing on a petition of the inhabitants of Gilmanton, the convention arose with leave again to sit again, and the Senate returned to their chamber. So this is how petitions were handled. There was a vote for a committee to consider the petition of William Crombie and another, and to report thereon. It was brought up, read, and concurred. So the House of Representatives decided, the Senate got together with the House in the House chamber, listened to the petitions, then they split up. The House decided what they decided on that petition, sent it over to the House, and the House
Send to the Senate.
the Senate.
Yeah.
And the Senate brought it up, read it, and concurred. And this is again repeated on the next one down.
It doesn't happen like that anymore.
If you look at the 1815 Senate Journal, it's about 1.25 inches thick. The very first half of it, all of it, the first half, is all petitions. There's no other business except petitions for the whole first half.
And now petitions get put in a desk drawer or in the governor's pocket or the wherever that goes, and they pocket it. They pocket it and they pay no attention to it. And the Redress of Grievances Committee was fantastic. It was really a great
Great start. Great start.
Yeah.
If you look at the top here, you see Richard Ayer, who had just had his petition heard. The Senate concurred. with the House of Representatives that he could bring in his bill. And so I imagine what happened is his petition was read before the House and the Senate. They split up. The House decided that sounds good. He's looking for $35 to pay for his horse that he lost in the war or something, whatever was going on there. And then he brought his bill in to the treasurer, got paid, and went home. No big deal. So these are all people who had liberty to bring in their bill. What is the status of redress today? When was the last petition filed? Here's the one of the very, very last petitions that was filed. If you look on the right side, that big roll is all names. And that was in 1951 against a 1% sales tax. Ed found that at the Secretary of State Archives a few months ago. I think it was before Thanksgiving. In 2010, a Republican majority was elected to the House of Representatives.
Yeah, we're good.
Under Bill O'Brien's leadership, the Redress Committee was created as a standing committee. So from 1951, roughly, to 2010, 60 years without a petition. Certainly not because the government hadn't breathed in one. Exactly 2 years later, the House Rules Committee decided that they recommended eliminating the Redress Committee, and the vote went out on the floor and it died.
I can tell you who probably voted against it. It's the woman with her hand raised, and the rest of those pie holes probably just decided to kill it without any thought. Every single one of them.
Girls too.
I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it. Those people, whoa, they were bad.
Well, here's the question, right? The petitions process was brought up by the House Rules in 2010, and in 2012, it was killed by House Rules. Now, can the people's right to petition be denied by the making of House and Senate rules?
No.
It's a constitutional provision.
Right.
All right? The U.S. Constitution, here's Miranda versus Arizona. All right, right there. This is the decision that you get your Miranda rights from. The Supreme Court said that where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation that would abrogate them. Another Supreme Court case, the state constitution is the mandate of the sovereign people to its servants and representatives. Not one of them has a right to ignore or disregard these mandates. Our rights secured by Article 31 and 32 and 38 are not up for grabs. These are not,
Right.
these are mandates to the legislature. If they don't do what they're told, they violated their oath of office under Article 38. What is the true great work? Well, educate and inform the whole mass of the people. That is the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. I believe that's what you guys are all doing. You guys read and look up stuff, watch videos, go out and talk to people. That takes courage. If you love liberty, if you love wealth greater than liberty, and tranquility of servitude greater than the animating contest for freedom, go home from us in peace. You seek not your counsel, nor your arms. Crouch down and lick the hand that feeds you.
Oh, yeah.
May your chains set lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were our countrymen.
Go sit.
These are the petitions that have been, I bring these petitions to try to get people to become aware. In April, I did a stand your ground petition. Jack Kimball had a rally, honor your oath rally.
Yeah.
400 people plus signed physically. And then I went to the American Legion, the VFWs in Manchester, and I'm from Goffstown. And I picked up, I don't know how many more physical signatures. And then Josh Youssef put the petition online for us. We collected some more there. And about 550 signatures were filed with the secretary, the general court clerk. And then I put the petition here online, and it's got, so the 550 has to do with that 133 standing ground. So there's almost 700 signatures there. That's filed. That's been in the clerk's office since April. We're not getting any results. So Bob said it's about the numbers. And if we have enough numbers, especially, I want to make this an election issue. Who's with redress, who's not. The one that you see at the top there, 9, that's for legislators only, or former reps, or anybody who's ever declared a run. Josh Youssef has signed that, along with Stella